Hello everyone, Canadian crypto trader here. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing and I guess somewhat reviewing the Cobo Tablet seed storage device, I guess you'd call it. So quick bit of background, if you follow me at all, I trade futures on cryptocurrency. I also trade the commodities markets. Part of trading is as you accumulate cryptocurrencies, I like to store some of my profits. I do that on my Ledger Nano X here. I also have a Ledger Nano S. This video isn't so much about those, but along with these, so any cold storage or hot storage wallets, you're going to have a seed phrase that you need to keep if you ever, so say I've lost this thing. If I have the seed phrase, I can recover the contents of the device essentially onto a new device. So with these seed storage phrases, you do not want to save them anywhere electronically. I've read far too many stories of people who, typed it in some type of password keeper, or they just typed it into, say, like a Word file. They typed it into an email draft and saved it on their computer. The problem is if somebody has a keylogger on your computer, they hack your email at some point, they hack your password keeper, they're going to have access to that seed phrase. And once they have it, it's really like having keys to the kingdom. They can take all of your Bitcoin with nothing more. So you never want to type your seed phrase anywhere. Don't type it in your phone. Don't take a picture of it, like a screenshot. Nothing electronic. Write it down on a piece of paper. Don't do it anywhere where there's cameras, don't do it in public, don't do it at the Starbucks, all that type of stuff. Be extra cautious with that seed phrase. Now, the second part of being extra cautious is saving that somewhere. So saving it on a piece of paper, obviously, you could lose the paper. If there's a fire, it gets burned, etc. Those are kind of the common things. Now, I know, are these likely to happen? Not really, but you don't want to, accumulate a wealth of Bitcoin and then at some day you need to recover it because maybe you lose your ledger and it turns out you can't find your piece of paper or it got burned in a house fire, etc. So I ordered this handy dandy Cobo tablet. To start, I got mine off Amazon. I am in Canada, and that's why I'm the Canadian crypto trader. It was $52 Canadian. In the United States, they are $39. I will put links below to where you can buy these in both Canada and the US, because I know I do have some US viewers as well. And I'll also put links to the ledgers where you can buy those. But nonetheless, so not very expensive. It's $50 well spent to basically make sure that you are protecting your seed phrase and have it available. So let's open this thing up. Let's get to it. That's what you're waiting for. So it came in this nice black box. There's no labels on or anything. It has a sticker on here. So let's cut this open. Now, I've seen other videos about these, so I kind of know what to expect. So first thing, it's got this nice insert. It's very securely fastened, and I don't know if you can see in there, it's kind of got like an offset here to hold it down, so as it's in the box, it is not moving. We'll take this out. All right, so we got the Cobo. It's definitely got some weight. That's the first thing you notice. It is definitely heavy. It looks like it has 4 layers here, so we'll get to those. So let's just set that aside. Let's pop off the top of this box. Well, I guess the inside top. So it has a little instruction manual. That's it. I mean, it's actually not that difficult from what I've seen. It has 2 stickers. So once we put our seed phrase in the Cobo tablet, you seal it back up and you put these around the edge. That way you know for sure that nobody has tampered with it, just extra precaution. I'm gonna set everything over here in here. So let's see, so we got a screwdriver, we're gonna use that in a second. We have, I believe these are extra screws. They're either extra screws or we need them at the end here, I'm not quite sure yet. And then these are the letters, so I'm gonna pop these out. So they're kind of cool. You get several of each letter because obviously you're going to repeat some letters within the words. And they're almost kind of pre-punched, if you can see that. It's like a metal sheet. The letters have no connection. Like they're kind of free-floating, but there's like a plastic film on both sides of this. So I'm assuming we're just going to punch these out, and then that's how we will use them. So there's, looks like, so let's see. There's, if we can find the A's here. Yeah, there we go. So you get several of each letter. There's actually quite a few A's. I'm sure they tailored it based on, because you have almost 2 rows of A's, then only about 1 row of B's, etc. So they tailored it based on what you would need. So really quick, and that's all that's in the box. That's all you need. if you're not familiar, so for example, a ledger has a 24-word passcode, if you will, the recovery phrase, the seed phrase. There is a list out there. It's called the BIP 39 list. There's over 2,000 words on that list, and every single word has a unique first 4 letters. So in this COBOL, and I'm just going to start unscrewing it here as I talk. Let's push this aside. So this is all nicely done up. Let's see here if it'll actually move. So you get the 4 layers. So it breaks kind of in the middle originally. So this screw right here slides into this slot right here, and then at the end, I'm sure we tighten that up. Or do we actually? Let me take a look. Again, this is my first time using it. Actually, no, it doesn't look like we actually tighten that up at all. That's just there to act as a guide into there. Interesting. Okay. Nonetheless, so I'm not sure if you can see. I'm having trouble seeing it in the camera, but each of these has a number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You flip it over, 13 to 16, and it goes on. So we're going to unscrew. So remember, there's 2 levels here. So we'll unscrew 1 through 12. This will slide out, and then we can put our 4 letters in for each of the words. Now, I'm obviously not going to show you my mnemonic phrase, but let's real quick just unscrew this one. So anyways, there's over 2,000 words, and each one starts with 4 unique letters. So we are only going to be, that luckily jumped right into the box. We're only going to put the first 4 letters of the words, but that's all you need. You can find this list pretty much anywhere online. Not sure where that one went to, but I will find it in a second. Oh, it's back here. Be a little more careful with this one. So long story short, you pop out letters. You're going to put them in this. So now that that's undone, you see this slides out. So we can flip this over. I'll put my 4 letters for each word in here. Slide this back, put the screws on, and then we'll repeat for the other side. And then once we're done, we're going to seal this up, put on these on each edge, and then store this thing away. Now, I might be extra cautious. I think if you're going to go through this much trouble, and especially if you do keep a lot of Bitcoin, like, if you only have, $50 or $100, you're only going to go so far with this. But myself, as I accumulate Bitcoin over the years, I want this to be extra safe. I actually store these in a safety deposit box, if you will. Not so much at a bank. It's the same idea as at a bank, but it's an independent service. But that way they're just out of my house. If my house ever got robbed, they're not stealing these things. Where would I probably keep these? I'd probably keep them in a safe, and that's probably the first thing that would be stolen out of my safe. So I keep them in a safety deposit box. In the past, I actually used other methods, like I said, the pieces of paper method, and then I use some of the ones where you etch them yourself onto sort of a titanium plate. It's kind of sloppy though, so that's why I wanted to upgrade to one of these. And I mean, really upgrading for $50 each is an investment well worth it. So in terms of review, I haven't put the letters in yet, but this is definitely high quality. I can tell that right from the start, just the weight in itself. It looks like it's going to be fairly easy to use. And maybe I will come back. I'll just put in like a bogus word just so we can see how it looks when it is done. All right, so got our first pretend word in there. Just to update on the sheet here of letters. I peeled off the top layer of plastic. The bottom layer is still on there. That way it keeps the letters that you're not using nice and secured in here. But it's fairly easy. I use just a sharp knife to pop letters out as I needed them. I'm sure you could use pretty much anything. Even a butter knife would work. So I put 4 letters in here, and then I didn't do anything yet. So we just secure them, and you can see how that looks. Pretty easy. You can see the letters, so even when this is secured, those letters aren't going anywhere. They're not falling out. As you can see, they're actually much longer than this, so you get to it gets covered, so they're not going to fall out, and that's about it. So I'm going to go through it. It will be a bit of a tedious type of thing. Luckily, we only have to do the first 4 letters. Some of these words are a little bit longer. Not that it's that big a deal. It's really as you do it one time, and you're good to go. What else should I mention? Nice thing I like about this one too is you could replace the letters. So if I decided, so I actually created a new seed phrase for my ledger. So that's part of the reason why I decided, you know what, I really want to make sure I just have the most secure things. So I moved all my Bitcoins off them. I reset them, created new passphrases, wrote them down, piece of paper, And then now I'm going to put them in here, and then that piece of paper is getting 100% destroyed, probably burned in a fire. And that's it. Then we'll secure this thing up, and seed phrases will be good. So that's basically it, guys. I do highly recommend this. I've used, like I said, other methods in the past, ones where you kind of manually etch it or you punch the numbers in. Those work. This just seems, for 50 bucks, this just seems like such a high quality product and well worth it and easy to use, and it's just very clear. Like, that's going to be the word. It's not like some weird etch thing. And as well, much more secure than obviously typing it somewhere on your computer, taking a picture. Don't recommend that at all. So check out the links below. Give the video a like, and that is it. So be sure to stay tuned. Check me out on Twitch if you want to see me actually live trade cryptos, trade commodities, and maybe have some reviews in the future as well. Okay, guys, so all done. I would say all in all, it took me about 45 minutes to put in all 24 words. A few things that I learned along the way that I personally recommend. One, I mean, double and triple check the words. Just make sure they are in there correctly. You know, as you're doing it, then once you close it and you put the screws on it, double check it again, do both sides, and then, like, even if you wait 10 minutes, then go back and double check it again, just to 100% make sure that the letters are in there correctly. Part of the reason for this as well is my other tip. I used a light layer of super glue over each of the 4 letters in each of the spaces. And the reason being is once I first originally sealed it up, the letters were definitely kind of loose fitting in there, and some of them even jumped around. So yeah, you definitely want to kind of make sure they're secure. Last thing you want to do is go through all this effort, seal it up, and then in the future, sometime you need that passphrase, you open it up and the letters are jumbled. That's going to do you no good whatsoever. So I put all the letters in, kept it on a nice flat surface. I put just the lightest amount of super glue, like a little trail along the bottom of each of the 4 letters. Let it dry. Then I kind of tested it. I gave it a little shake. Everything stayed still. Gave it more of a shake. Turned it upside down. Yep, all the letters stayed in place. Only then did I kind of seal it up, put the screws in. Did that for both sides, obviously. And then I put the security tape on it. Here, so that's it. So I feel good now, but I would definitely recommend something with that, because the letters were definitely loose to the point where they can move around, like they might fall out of the place that they're in. So just definitely a wise move, I would say. So I personally am going to keep this in its little box, and it is going into a safety deposit box. I actually have a second one here. So this one was for my Nano X. That'll be for my Nano S. I will somehow denote what it is for on here. Without actually saying what it's for. It's, again, one of those safety features. You know, you don't want to write 24 seed passcode to my Ledger Nano X. You know, somebody finds that, knows what that is, they got your keys to the kingdom. So I will somehow denote it. Just nonetheless, that is it. So hopefully this helped out somebody. Good luck with your cobalts, and catch me in the next video.